didn't turn out today, as it said, at such short notice, but what a horrendous future that we face if TTIP goes through, and to think that with all the campaign build-up for TTIP over these past weeks and months, to think that CETA could be slipping through the very decisions that we are trying to challenge and try to throw out. It is absolutely horrendous. And when I think about that house down the road there, and you know, we are supposedly living in a representative democracy, and our MPs, they can't be experts on everything. Of course they can't. But some of them are barely competent, it seems. And how many of them have looked into the case of TTIP? How many of them have challenged inside their own parties to say, look, what is this that we are going to be considering passing into legislation? What is this agreement across Europe, across the globe, that could have such horrendous consequences for everyone? Whose interest will these TTIP agreements be in? And is this something that will help us build a better future for the people of our country, for the planet, and for everybody? There's nobody doing that, and it seems that the ministers in government are only happy when their MPs know very, very little about anything. I was listening to Caroline Lucas only last night saying about any of the legislation generally going through Parliament, and how they're only too happy to make sure that their MPs don't have time to do the scrutiny, don't have time to find out details about any of the laws going through. So it's no wonder that parties are not helping their elected people in their parties, in Parliament, to learn more about these details of these trade agreements. Now, we know that these decisions are being made elsewhere, and possibly being made through the back door, very underhand, and as Nick was saying, totally secret, and we wouldn't have seen any of this at all if the details hadn't been leaked out. What sort of democracy can we call this, where legislation that will affect every one of our lives, every aspect of our future, every way that we could try to replan a low carbon, zero carbon economy with a better standard of living, tackling inequalities and choosing how we live our lives in the future? How can that be? We've got to say no to this. You're all out here today at a few hours' notice, and I know you're all representing many hundreds and thousands of people across the country who are going to stand up together and say no. No to TTIP and no to CETA, and let's not have any more of these dodgy deals that are in the interest of corporations and not in the interest of the majority of individuals. Thank you.